This morning's Salty on Religion is guaranteed to spark probably, I hope it doesn't, but I'm a realist, and I'm sure I'm going to get some hate on either side of this perspective. But again, I want to spur healthy conversation with these videos and not necessarily forcing my point of view on anybody. You can believe me, you cannot believe me. Just my perspective on things, and maybe I can learn something from some of the comments. So I don't, besides spam, I don't delete any comments, so comment to your heart's content. If you get vulgar, I might delete your comment, but here goes. The latest, well, I wouldn't say the latest, but the high on the minds of a lot of people, especially recently with the law in Indiana about exercising religious freedom, and how opponents of the law say it's all about discriminating against gay people. You know, what I like to do is get down to the root of a lot of the controversy, or a lot of the subject matter. And on my observations on the Christian side, Christians don't like the idea of gay people. Not necessarily, well, there are plenty of Christians that don't like gay people, but the teachings of Christ actually, you know, Christ loved everybody, and to me that's what being a Christian tells me to do, is to love everybody in a familial way. But you know, so on the Christianity side, let's paint with a broad stroke for just a second here. Christians, or religious people per se, believe that being gay is a sin. Okay, let's leave that there for a second. On the other side of the spectrum, you know, pro-gay people are trying to say, well, gay people are just like everybody else. It's not a choice, and you know, we're here to stay. We make valuable contributions to society. We should have the same rights as everybody else. And so that's their point of view. All right, those are the two extremes. So getting back to the first part of it, what do I believe? Well, I go back to the Ten Commandments, and nothing in the Ten Commandments says, you know, thou shalt not be gay. But there are a lot of references in the Bible that allude to being gay or homosexual is not right. So kind of going back to my video about drinking and looking at women. Drinking is not necessarily disallowed by the Bible or the Ten Commandments either. Nothing in the Ten Commandments says thou shalt not drink, or even thou shalt not be a drunkard, right? There are supplemental or side stories or proverbs or other books in the Bible that talk about not being a drunkard, and in the same sense talk about, you know, marriages between a man and a woman, And you know, don't be a drunkard. Drinking too much is a fool's game or something like that. So, in that sense, no, I don't think it's okay to be gay. Now, before you give me some hate, I don't dislike gay people. I don't hate gay people. It's just not my thing. Being gay isn't my thing. Nor is being a drunkard my thing. I drink, but I'm not, you know, I don't drink to oblivion and, you know, and get up the next day and do it again. Albeit, you could make a pretty compelling argument by looking at some of my videos. That's another story, though. So anyway, am I comparing being homosexual to being a drunkard or an alcoholic? In a sense, yes, but not that you know, somebody drinking and driving will kill somebody versus somebody who's gay will kill somebody. No, I'm not comparing them like that. I'm comparing it in a context that of a biblical context, right? So on that note also, you know, if you are one of those Christians that hates gay people, right, then you probably should, or you already do, hate drunkards. You hate adulterers. You should hate, well, you shouldn't hate being a Christian, but for those Christians who do hate, you know, when you apply why you hate something because you believe the Bible tells you to hate them, which it doesn't, you know, when you apply that logic across the board to things that are supposedly sins based on the Bible, you should, you know, it becomes ridiculous when you try to apply it to other things that are sins in the Bible. So, on the one hand, no, I don't think it's right. On the other hand, as it affects me on a daily basis, it doesn't, because there are other, you know, none of us are perfect. You know, Jesus says, "Let the one who has not sinned cast the first stone." I'm paraphrasing, obviously. So, on the one hand, I said that already. Shop owners should not be forced to serve people who they disagree with their lifestyle. That's on them. You know, I don't think the law the law actually makes things worse, in my opinion. Of course, you know, I'm not a shop owner, and I've never had come up against that, and I know what I would do in that instance. But back to the original premise that you know, if a shop owner refuses to serve, say, gay people because they don't believe in their lifestyle, well, I would kind of ask them, well, do you not also not serve drunkards? Do you also not serve divorced people? Do you also not serve people who eat too much? You know, do you also not serve, you know, you know, people who are are jealous of other people's things? Do you not serve people who steal? Do you not serve people, you know, you get the point. That's all I'm saying. But I wholeheartedly support the right of the shop owner to not serve anybody they don't want to serve. And you can say, well, it's a public business, and you know, if you're going to open up your business to the public, you have to serve everybody. Well, okay. then there shouldn't be any signs that say no shirt, no shoes, no service, right? There shouldn't be any security at like bars, right? Because you opened up to the public, so you have to let everybody in. You know, those bars that they, you know, you're on the list, that have lists. You know, you should be open to everybody. My point is, in that instance, there are already shops that exclude people for one reason or another. And, you know, is it based on race, color, religion, sexual orientation? We don't know. You know, you can't get into the minds of those people to know why they're excluding one person or another. Could it be because of financial reasons? You know, remember the poll tax? The poll tax was actually supposedly designed to keep poor people from voting because they couldn't afford to pay a poll tax. So, are expensive restaurants discriminating against poor people? You know, there are. What I'm saying is there are already exclusionary things that are, I wouldn't say necessarily legal, but they're tolerated in society. Getting way off. Anyway, back to perspectives on gay, right? And so that's that's what I think about that. I think, to sum it up, I think the law does worse things or makes the situation worse. But I do support shop owners to exclude whoever they want to exclude at their own peril. I personally have experienced a time where a shop owner refused to serve me, and it was during the height of the Vietnam boat people incident. I lived in South Texas. I was a young boy, and my mom wanted to get something to drink, and there weren't any convenience stores around, so she stopped at like it's kind of like a little restaurant bar, and she sent me in and said go in there and get her a soda. So I went in the store, you know, and went to the bar, and this gruff looking white dude, I guess, I said, yes, can I get a Coke or a Sprite or whatever? And he looked at me and says, no. I was dumbfounded. I didn't know what to say. I was like, okay. So I left. You know, and that was the end of it. He didn't want to take my money. I didn't. Of course, I was a kid. I didn't protest or anything, but it just kind of ended there. You know, we went somewhere else and got a soda somewhere else. It was inconvenient, but you know, in today's society, there are so many places to get what you want or what you need without having to go to a place that's going to refuse to serve you. Now, of course, you can claim the slippery slope argument in that, okay, well, what about hospitals now? What about those the doc in the boxes? What about you know, even private hospitals? You know, can they refuse to serve people because they think they're because they are the undesirable people? When it comes to life and death, yeah, that's a little different. In that case, like I said, I don't have the answer. But in cases of life or death or medical, you know, if it's not a life threat, I mean, those things are already in place. If it's not life threatening, they come, you know, they can turn you away, or you know, they can refuse service, or they can get you stable, and then transport you to somewhere that can serve you, that serves everybody. I don't agree with that, but again, private business, you serve or don't serve people at your own peril. If you don't want to serve people of a certain kind, and the word gets out, you're probably not going to be open much longer. So that's my that's my opinion on that. Tell me why I'm wrong. Tell me why I'm right. Tell me why you disagree or agree. It's a complex situation. So anyway, that's my rambling, and I hope everybody has a good weekend, and God bless. Take care. Bye.